Scooby-Doo is massive. I'm sure you're aware of that wacky 60s and 70s Hanna-Barbera cartoon with those meddling kids solving costume-related mysteries with Fred, Daphne, Velma, Shaggy, and of course, the gang wouldn't be complete without their anthropomorphic dog, Scooby.
Let's see now. More bologna? Yeah. And a slug of double Dutch chocolate syrup. Yeah.
Presumably, if it weren't for those Scooby snacks keeping him docile, he'd probably be closer to a Garfield-like deity. And we've all seen what the lack of lasagna did to that guy. It's pretty well a fun concept, despite its formulaic structure most of the time. There's always a little bit of boot shaking, a little creepy manor, and always chock full of hijinks.
Well, they say fish is supposed to be good for you.
Yeah, but this is overdoing it.
Despite an initial short run on TV with just 3 seasons, the franchise got back up and seriously hasn't slowed down since. Still don't believe me? Alright, well, tomorrow wake up and put on your Scooby branded t-shirt and hat. Grab you a cup of Scooby juice. Take you a big dump in your Scooby bathroom. Don't forget to wash up with your Scooby soap. Can't start the day without breakfast, so pour you a big old bowl of Scooby cereal. Make your way over to my place, so don't forget your Scooby wallet. Might want to bring some snacks since you'll be here a while. Might want to put those in your Scooby lunchbox. When you get over here, we'll watch the 14 TV shows.
Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Doo.
Don't want to watch that crap? How about we watch the 43 plus animated movies? No? The 2 Hollywood films maybe? Alright, we don't have to watch anything. Let's play one of the 35 games. Take your pick. Intellivision, Commodore 64, SNES, Genesis, PS1, and on and on. You get the point. If we had to look at all of that stuff, this video would truly never be over. So instead, I'm going to present you with a single product, one that I think stands above the rest, for better or worse.
Pap-napples.
XP. Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights was originally released on the PlayStation 2 all the way back in 2002, which then later went on to be released on the other platforms of the time, GameCube and Xbox. At least on the PS2, it sold well enough to get a greatest hits version just a couple years later. The game was developed by Heavy Iron Studios. You know those guys who made Battle for Bikini Bottom? The absolute best SpongeBob game that even got a remake a few years ago. And published by their parent company, THQ. Now, these guys might not mean anything to you younger gamers out there with your Roblox and Fortnite and whatever's popular now, but for my age group, these guys were the shit.
Real funny, Taz. He's tuning up the bend, and there he goes! Sweet chin music!
Consequently, with their business model of releasing just as much shovelware, if not more so than good games, they were just as capable of producing hot garbage. So what about 100 Frights? Is it a keeper or a coaster? I will say, I grew up playing this game, and while that's one of the reasons I'm making this video, I will try and represent the game as it is, with all the and included. Before we start our wacky adventure to find out just who done did it, we must first travel back in time to discover a different version of the game, one that sadly never got to live.
Scooby-Doo Classic Creep Capers available now for Nintendo 64 and Game Boy Color from THQ. Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights will be available this winter on PlayStation from THQ.
That's right, your ears did not deceive you. Night of 100 Frights was originally developed for the PlayStation 1, and while it sucks it never made it out of the oven, so to speak, you'll quickly see why that was surely a good thing. Everything we know about this version of the game comes from a leaked prototype build available for download on the internet. It's a no menu having, 5 level selecting FMV game. FMV being full motion video. For what it's worth, I think it's a pretty cool looking style of game, as impractical as it is to fully implement. The game is, well, buggy. Hit detection is janky as hell. Changing direction never seems to work with any kind of consistency, and the game would just flat out crash more often than not. This carnival level looks pretty sweet, but I can't play it for more than a couple of seconds. The mechanics are strange, to say the least. Shaggy and Scooby are both controlled together, and you'd think it'd be some sort of co-op type setup. Nope. They both have a separate health bar, but I'm pretty sure if one dies, they both do. You avoid taking damage by either moving side to side, simple enough, or bizarrely, by orbiting around each other. It appears spatial puzzles would have been a core factor in the gameplay, though it's mostly broken. Ah, screw it, just carry him. There's not a penalty I'm aware of, and if in doubt, just throw him at whatever's trying to get you. These kind of elements are very common in unfinished games like this, and you can't really criticize a product that never made it to the market. You can, however, get a clearer picture of why this version was abandoned. Just look at it. These environments are slick, and it's this same visual quality that completely derails this train. The FMV used in this way is a trick that looks nice, especially on that platform, but comes with a whole host of its own problems. For one, it's on rails. You can't stop or go forward or back. For two, you're not really in a 3D environment. It's simply characters overlaid on rendered video. Video that does in spots look beyond what the console was capable of. But even that upside comes with a pretty big downside. Because it's on a CD, the size of video in a game that's nothing but would obviously have to be compressed, which in my opinion negates the benefits of doing it this way in the first place. Would it have looked better in the final release and been less noticeable on an original console with a tube TV? Probably. It's a neat little novelty given prototypes aren't typically available to the public. I can't really say if it would have been fun or not. THQ didn't think so. So they scrapped this FMV hellscape and moved over to the much more powerful world of the PlayStation 2.
All right, you two, don't forget the real reason we're here.
Lobster bisque?
No, silly. We're here to solve a mystery.
Aw.
My friend Holly says there's strange goings-on up here at her family home, Mystic Manor. And she could really use our help. Look, there she is now. It's my uncle, the famous inventor, Professor Alexander Graham. He was just about to unveil some new top-secret invention when he disappeared without a trace. No one saw him leave Mystic Manor, and no one will help me search the premises.
Don't tell me. Because it's haunted, right?
Yeah, Shaggy. How'd you know?
Because it's always haunted.
Jeepers. Don't worry, Holly. We'll help you look around.
Alright, so it's a classic setup. We gotta solve this mystery, I guess, and find Shaggy.
Scooby-Doo!
I would go in and explore this obviously haunted mansion, but there's a snack gate barring our entry. These things are Scooby snacks. Well, the individual ones anyway. You will find the full box versions, but they're not as common. Why are they huge and floating? It's video game logic, dude. I don't make the rules. That's cool. The save system is through this mini version of the mystery van. Get it? Mini van? So we can't go into the house right now. Over there's locked. What's back here? Mystic Playground. Wow, okay, so it's a full playground level, filled to the absolute brim with Scooby snacks. We stop and talk to this Don Knotts looking guy, but there's no audio at the moment. So this is a tutorial stage, it looks like. There's a physics-based teeter-totter, falling platforms I totally didn't have to try 3 times to complete. You can swing on these tires where you build momentum the longer you hold on. An ice rink for some reason? How the hell is it still frozen? I guess the point is to teach you about the ice physics. It'll be used in future levels. And no, I'm not very good at it. A jump pad makes an appearance, and I beg the question, have you ever played a platformer that didn't have one? If you want to get all the snacks in this area, you're going to have to ride this little helicopter rope thing. And I'm unconvinced if you could snag them all in one go. Come on! Look at that speed!
The grass is always greener on the other side, 'cause you're messing up my lawn.
Hey, it is Don Knotts. What, you don't know who Don Knotts is? You uneducated swine? Go watch Andy Griffith. So we definitely have more than enough to get in now. Glamour in the Manor. Alright, so we gotta get that creepy key. You know, for once bats make sense to be here. We make the jump and... Okay, so it looks like we'll be making a bigger jump sometime later. Because now, it ain't happening.
Oh, Scooby-Doo, I'm so glad you found me. Ugh, it was just awful. As soon as we got inside the mansion, the mastermind appeared. He told us that he is behind my uncle's disappearance. Then he pulled on a lever, these trap doors opened up, and we were all whisked away. I've been stuck behind this locked door ever since. Here, take this map. It'll help you get around a little easier.
It's the map! Everything's broken up into sublevels with this killer treasure map aesthetic. I can dig it. Sucker! You know what a book suspiciously hanging out of a bookshelf means? Well, never mind. This place is a shithole. There's one of those boxes I was talking about. Well, we get to keep it anyways, so it was the right call. Damn! We'll need to find another one of those inventions to get any further. Outside we go. Since we can't get this conveniently out of reach key, we go this way. Shock on the Dock, which is our first real level so far. God knows how horrible this place would smell. Writhing barrels full of dying fish. That's nice. We can't break them yet. You hear that? Yeah, you're gonna be hearing that a lot in this video. Doing our platforming business, we swing across, which in this instance is totally unnecessary. Look, there's our first enemy. Weird flying fish things. If for some reason you're a total noob, loser, bitch boy and take damage, there's a health pickup waiting up ahead. A large sandwich. One of a few forms the pickups can take. From my recollection, cake and ice cream are also in the shuffle. If for whatever reason you use up all the pickups in a given area, your two options are either A, exit and re-enter the level. You'll know you've done it right when there's a loading screen. Or B, kill an enemy, which can be done in a few different ways. The simplest way, given we haven't gotten any inventions yet, is to use our body weight as a weapon of mass destruction. Regular enemies like these rats only take a single hit, while bigger enemies like this caveman frozen in ice take 2. Unfortunately, I don't have footage of killing him at this point because, well, Ooga Booga don't play no games. We make it to the top here and... I believe I can fly. Do these things I don't know why. I don't give a damn what you say. Ride this pelican today.
Waha! Woohoo! Raggy! Hey, Scoob, am I happy to see you? I've been hanging around with that bird for a long time. Like, what's going on? It's locked. It's blocked. Why, it sure is. Come on, pal, let me give you a hand. Or a leg.
Okay, Raggy.
Now I know what a rubber band feels like. I'll catch up with you later.
Oh, okay. We did it. You gonna stay here and hang out? Thank you. I'll be here all week. Swinging hooks. Creepy. What the hell's going on down there? What's happening, Barney?
It's like my pappy always told me. You plant crabgrass, you get crabs.
Is that how it happens?
You dirty little pinchy bastards.
Open another snack door. Fear on the Pier. Okay, somehow we took a boat, and there's black slime everywhere. PETA would be pissed. Right, so you can't jump while on this stuff, which makes these crabs much more dangerous. It's too bad their AI is dumb. One of only 2 states the AI operates. Either it's on sight, or sight is never going to be a factor. Generic enemies are all the latter. It's only slightly more challenging when you get a few of them next to each other. Those guys over there are the ghost of Captain Cutler. Why are there 2 of them? Beats me. Awesome! Our first invention, the spring. Why is the spring an upgrade, you say? Because it gives us the double jump. Because everything is better when it's doubled. Got some soda? Double it. Got some free time? Double that shit. Now you could spend more time with your wife. Beating that easy Elden Ring boss. That platform we couldn't make before is calling to us. Come on. Oh shit. The bat. Of course. Alright, we made it up. Now that I'm looking at the footage, it's obvious some of these monsters cannot be jumped on. Like these stupid headless specters. Not that it matters. Up here is a complete waste of time. For now. What the game wants us to do is grab that floating key from the starting area, which unlocks the gate right next to it. I gotta ask, did it really have to be this close? Why lock a gate and leave the key right there? On edge in the hedge. New simple enemy, the spider. Bonk. It's really windy. We ride some floating tables over pits of hell. What else could be down there?
Holy crap and a PETA! Monsters!
Taste.
Who said that?
Onward we go. Here's another new monster, the Wolfman. If you're not aware by now, the main enemies in this game are all actual villains from the very early Scooby-Doo show. They were soundly defeated in those episodes, so could there be a good reason why they're here? Look at our totally effective headbutt attack. Another upgrade. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Probably because it's not important to the gameplay at all. But we can dig in specific spots where you see this flower. The only thing you're likely to get is a health pickup, so pointless. Don't offend this pooch. He can literally dig your grave before you can say, A little further, we run into the witch and zombie monsters.
Oh no, it's a zombie!
Totally creative names, I know, but you gotta remember they're from a very different time in horror culture. Both are short-sighted as hell, only caring if you're literally standing right next to them. So, goodbye. Man, it bugs the crap out of me with this sometimes they talk, sometimes they don't thing. But we get a new invention, so who cares? It's slippers and a lampshade. What? No sound effects? Here, I'll do it for you. That's pretty much the entire function. Spoiler warning, they're not useful. Not to me anyway. Belching plants try and butt in, but you know the drill. Just walk on by. Finally, here's a challenging setup. We got arrow shooting statues, sticky goo so we can't jump, and a scarecrow right in our way. Let's do this. Well, we did it. Here comes Shaggy. Didn't mean to skip what he said, but it's a no-brainer. We ride what looks like a half toilet, half lawnmower through this thorny environment. More shooty bang bang. Now that I'm thinking about it, there really isn't any maze about this hedge maze so far. Rickety, 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 rickety. Pretty easy. Basic video game, move here, jump now, don't fall off. A fire-breathing, fat goblin statue. That's something. See that? That's a checkpoint / teleporter. You gotta activate it in order to fast travel back to this location. Now we're in a greenhouse. Not much new here. A little teeter-totter action, which is always fun. Basic platforming. Wow, what a short little section. Chills and spills on Haunted Hill. Is this where that house is at? Let me introduce you to my... Come on. Let me introduce you to my kryptonite. These ridiculous swinging branches. I swear to God, I don't know what it is about these things, but I tried and failed a good 10 times to get past them. It doesn't help that a lot of them hover over death pits, so you really only get one try before having to restart at the beginning. It goes to show, I can adapt and conquer all of From Software's toughest bosses, but struggle with timing a stick. I also couldn't stop touching these thorny bushes, but I'll just blame the hitboxes. Yeah, those damn hitboxes. While I'm complaining about getting hit, I might as well explain the system. First, there's our health bar. At full, 5 bars. Scooby's got a big goofy expression, and as we take damage, he gets downright depressed. If you lose all your health, the screen fades, and you'll respawn back at the beginning of the level. You'll keep all you've collected, as well as the inventions, so there really isn't much penalty for dying, other than the annoyance of having to travel back to where you were. And even that's not too bad, seeing as though levels are typically quite short. You got it? Okay. Up the haunted hill we go. Spiderweb, a dog's natural enemy. Hey Scarecrow, where's your brain? By the way, do you think a haunted scarecrow could really hurt you? I mean, they are just made of straw. You know, like those kind of hats. Top of the mountain. Invention time, baby. It's the professor's helmet. I'm sorry, but this dude did not come up with the football helmet. Nothing to do now, but test it out. This is the best weapon you're gonna get in the game, hands down. Oh, and you can get past those pesky spider webs too. I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed, and if you wanted to, let me know what you think in the comments below. Back to the manor. The bookshelf works now, but it wasn't exactly hiding much. Alright, so there were 2 spider webs. We'll try this one first. Leads back to the first one, eh? Non-linear this game is not. But who said that was a bad thing? Just look at this place. How much cheddar would it take to fix up this dump? Giant holes in the floor? Sentient fires? Water damage? There's a key on the stove. To get it, we've got to hit this horrible tripping hazard floor switch, which turns on the sprinklers. Easy like Sunday morning. The ghost of Geronimo inhabits this part of the crib. Unlike the other enemies, this guy runs away from us. Well, it looks like it anyway. A turkey leg. It's a turkey leg. Here's this thing, a giant floor fan. I knew this place was haunted. Up and down. Up and down. I know the enemies in this game aren't what the hardcore gamers call complex, but Jesus. A side room button turns on the air, but it's not like we can fly all of a sudden.
Creepers! It's the creeper! Whoa! Help!
Here's a little mini challenge. Collect all 4 keys. It's not what I call challenging. I got 3 of them right off the bat without him even noticing. On the 4th one, I did get smacked around a bit. We do get like a second of invincibility frames in between hits. So, what is that? A cloud of brown dust appears right as I take a hit. You can't tell me that's not what I think it is.
It's the headless specter!
Top of the room, a swinging chandelier challenge. Let me just say, the swinging mechanic is probably the funnest single mechanic in the game. It's balls simple, but I really do enjoy the weighty momentum and getting a radical height. I don't think it ever gets to the point of being difficult per se, but I don't know. It never wore out its welcome. Here and in a couple of other spots, the reward is this token. Not just any token, a monster token, which unlocks something in what's called the Monster Gallery, just off to the side of the manor. What's inside is a museum-like long hallway, containing dedicated space for each and every monster in the game, given you've collected the required token, of course. While there's not a crazy amount of content per monster, just a brief description and some relevant trivia, it's cool they included it, and it does give somewhat of a reason to replay the levels, which is always nice to see. There's 21 of these around the game. I've never collected all of them, but let me know in the comments below if you did. The only thing left in here is the picture gallery, and it contains a bunch of concept art for the game. The way each image is unlocked is by collecting every Scooby snack in a given level. I didn't do it. Not that I didn't want to or something, but I simply wasn't even aware this was a thing until making this video. Can I say why I didn't notice this clearly interactive element? Nope. All scares upstairs. Bouncy beds, ladies.
Hey, baby.
Flaming chandeliers. Let's give a standing ovation for such creativity. Hey, it's Barney again. Donnie boy. Text. Just like in my first playthrough, I'm not gonna read it. No! God, how'd we get back here? Let's not go through that side room this time.
Oh no! It's a zombie!
It's a zombie! New enemy, the witch doctor. I think they do something different than the other guys, but I always kill them too quick to find out. Don't you just love that sound effect? Can't make it up the stairs, so we go around. Pull the lever, which does what? Okay.
Ruby snacks! Thanks for chasing off those bats, Scoob.
I don't think we did anything. What strength a man must have to throw a fully grown Great Dane like that. Jesus. It's gotta be that performance enhancer he's so fond of. Hit the switch and leave Shaggy for dead.
Looks like I'll be cooling my heels around here. See you, pal.
See, this is what I was talking about. Pay the snack door, and we're on the roof now. There's these lanterns you can swing on, and you'd think if you somehow missed, you'd be screwed. But there's a good bit of vertical level design. Don't get me wrong, you could still very much fall to your death. Whatever happens, I do quite like this rainy night atmosphere up here. And seeing we are on a roof, there's a gargoyle. I know this one's based on the one from Scooby-Doo, But do any of you remember that early 90s animated show of the same name? I was a little too young to catch it when it came out, but the reruns were pretty killer. These particular ones spit fireballs, so probably best to avoid them. On the other side, we make like Aladdin and split. Wait. Just look at how big one side of the roof is on this place. Billionaire much? Back inside. Collect some keys, a bunch of unnecessary hits, the tar monster. Shouldn't you be like around the tar sections of the game? A wind tunnel I can't use yet. The attic. ATTIC. More key collecting. At least the environment is interesting. Walking tight ceiling beams. Somewhat of an obstacle course with these barrels. Back outside, again. Surely this is the tippy top. What's new, other than many storm clouds that couldn't possibly be fast enough to zap us? This is like that last rooftop area, if you could actually explore it. With this area, we got some fairly decent level design. Gated sections where you have to platform up and down the roof side, flame shooting chimneys, also a common theme. Blah blah blah. Hey, there's Shaggy.
Away we go! Geronimo!
How would you even explain this with words? Another door. Here we go.
The infamous Scooby-Doo. Allow me to introduce myself. I am the mastermind.
Oh my god, it's Tim Curry, legendary actor and also best version of Pennywise.
I'm the reason you're here.
You are?
I'm the one who made Professor Graham disappear.
You did?
I'm also the one who's brought back all of your old foes.
But why?
That is a mystery you will never solve. And one more thing, I'm the one who's kidnapped all your friends.
Oh!
Velma!
Scooby-Doo!
See if you can get past this fiendish fright. You remember the Black Knight.
You know, all this time playing as Scooby, I never really thought about the others.
We'll worry about that later, Scooby. Watch out! It's the Black Knight!
Oh no!
It's first boss time, and he's itching for a stitching. Okay, so it's a timing puzzle. We've got to hit one of these switches right as he's walking past, all without getting zapped by this cloud, and all the while avoiding his big-ass double axes, which I might add are also electrified. That might sound intense, but honestly, it's super duper easy. The one attack he does have is super telegraphed, and even if that weren't the case, he will most likely walk in a straight line, letting you get 2 or 3 hits right off the bat. Cool aesthetic, but painfully simple. It's over in under a minute.
Where's some lenses, Velma?
Jinky, Scooby, it's the Creeper!
The Creeper? Where?
He's everywhere! Run, Scooby!
Velma, wait!
I'm Professor Alexander Graham. And you found one of my amazing invention crates. Let's see now, what's in this one? Looks like it's the galoshes. With these, you can walk across any sticky surface and not get stuck. And best of all, they're banana flavored. Oh, banana.
Boots? Also not a new invention. Let's see what's back at that fishing place. Wow, chicken, wow, wow. Wow, chicken, wow. Wow, chicka, wow, wow. One button press and those barrels are gone, which we could have done before the manor, but there's a reason I did it in that order. Fishy clues for Scooby-Doo. We're in a seafood packing factory. And once again, how rancid would you imagine a facility full of open piles of dead fish would possibly smell? Yuck! Pooey! Pooey! Ah! It's the sea creature! These guys hide out in those stank piles, and there's a bunch of them. You can sneak past by tiptoeing, but I lack the patience to make that a real strat. Unless you're trying to 100% the Scooby snacks or something, you're better off not even being down here. Not that it's really up to you. This level adds something new to the honestly basic platforming. Conveyor belts. Yes, you have seen them before. Everything's derivative, especially Scooby-Doo. And yes, they are way more challenging than anything else in the game. Some go clockwise, some go counterclockwise, and some don't move at all. Differing speeds, differing angles. It's kinda tough. I fell off a few times. Check out these snack placements. You almost have to go over the edge to collect them. And with the constant shifting belts, you're bound to struggle. And struggle is a good thing. The next room doesn't have nearly as engaging of a mechanic. You just, well, sit around on moving platforms. Here's a good place to put this criticism. Most of the various show villains you'll deal with in each level are pretty much the exact same. They have different models. The big ones take 2 hits instead of 1, and a couple shoot fireballs. But functionally, they all pretty much act the exact same way. Is that sort of simplicity to be expected with platforming games, and even more so with licensed games? Absolutely. However, that doesn't stop it from being a missed opportunity, in my opinion. The next section of the factory, and these pulley platforms do get a little nerve-wracking. Wow, look at those belts. I couldn't begin to tell you what kind of purpose those structures would have, but awesome. Done with that stretch. And now we have some options. We could take the shortcut back to the courtyard, go back to Fear on a Pier and collect the snacks we couldn't get earlier, or go forward into Coast for some ghosts. After some, well, exploring, for like 30 minutes, I make the troubling discovery that I'm not supposed to be here yet. There's this clear gap we simply cannot make until getting the required invention. And it's not here. It's not all in vain. We snagged a good amount of Scooby snacks and made our way up this lighthouse to find us a new attack upgrade. Super Smash. It does allow us to activate ground switches and break through this type of floor. Somewhere in our clueless exploration, we come across this, torture dungeon, I guess. This place was clearly here before this whole mastermind takeover. Like, there's literally completely decayed skeletons lining the walls. I know it's supposed to be like Dr. Frankenstein, but I can't help but to draw comparisons to Dr. Satan from House of a Thousand Corpses. While trudging through this hellhole, we make yet another discovery. The plunger. No, it doesn't let us walk on walls. That Scooby-Doo Spider-Man crossover hasn't happened yet. What it does allow us to do is make it up steeper slopes. We've seen a few of them so far, like in the Hedge maze. Speaking of the Hedge maze, this is actually where we're supposed to be right now. Off to the side of Haunted Hill is this little path. And we do in fact need that Super Smash attack, so we lucked out. Hit a switch, go to this side, hit another switch. I almost forgot to bring this up, but this game actually has a laugh track. I don't exactly know what triggers it, but every so often when you kill an enemy, you will get this quick audio clip. It's not much, but it's a neat little inclusion that does make things feel more like an episode of the show. Through the cliffside we go. Falling rocks, moving teeter-totters. Enter the cave. Not just any old ordinary cave, but one full of water, which I'm sure plenty of... Never mind. It's gonna be our setting for a while, so might as well get used to it. The first section has us maneuvering over sinking boats, and we can lower the water level if we so choose to collect, you guessed it, more Scooby snacks. It is a real bummer there aren't more collectibles included in this game. As a result, the sound you're going to be hearing 90% of the time is this. You remember the ice tutorial from the beginning? Well, this is what it was preparing you for. This open area with no holes to fall into and slow enemies. That sucks, but who's really clamoring for more slippery levels? Hey, here's a cool challenge. So we need to bounce on this gargoyle's head at just the right time, eh? Oh, God!
Right?
Yeah! Fun on a bun. Last room. This should be a cakewalk. We hit the button, and the water's rising. Looks like a race to the top. Simple. Simple. No! Let's do it again. Cleared it. Yeah. Whew, that was close. A 1. A 2. Over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go. We did it! We did it! I need to say, I've had consistent problems with this section in just about every playthrough I've had. The real trick is waiting for the boats to get decently close to where you're standing. If you don't do that, you're almost definitely going to be dog soup. A tight spot for a grave plot. About time we had a spooky graveyard level. Scooby and death go together like peanut butter and jelly. Autumn trees, mausoleum, tombstones. It's about as deep as your granny's Halloween decorations. But you know, it's a cool style. Not scary at all, unless you find ghostly sheets and Uncle Fester looking dudes frightening. Inside the crypt, a sliding wall section. Totally haven't seen that before. Hey, you see that there? That, my friends, is a breakable wall. Not quite an illusory wall, so don't go crazy or anything. There's a few of them around these parts, but they're totally optional.
Scooby-Doo! Get rid of these creeps! Do something, pal! Use your head!
Use my head? Wham! Bam! Thank you, ma'am.
He did it, Scoob! Like, what was that? Zoinks! Run, Scoob!
Well, I'm sure we'll run into him again later. Come on, come on, come on! Boss time!
Raffney!
Scooby, help! Keep it up, Scooby. I'm almost there. Got it. Jeepers, my skin was beginning to chafe.
You won't get away that easily.
You think that was easy?
This will teach you to cross paths with me. Here, I think this old friend of yours is dying to see you.
Scooby?
So it's a floor switch puzzle again. Maybe puzzle is a strong word. It's more about timing than anything. Is the timing easy then? Well, no, not at first. You see, Daphne goes from casket to casket, opening them up for a few seconds. What we have to do is time our button press perfectly to the casket being open and Green Ghost Guy's movement. He's got an attack or two, which ain't that hard to dodge. Maybe I'm stupid for not figuring it out sooner, but whatever. Once you know what to do, it's over in seconds.
Scooby-Doo, something strange is definitely going on here.
Daphne! Who? That is a ghost!
I saw it, Scooby.
Hiding behind a tree? I would say she was the bad guy, based on that freaky face. But just look at Daphne.
Solar-powered nightlight.
Underwater winner's racket.
Microwave-safe ice cube tray.
Ray, what's with this umbrella?
That's actually one of my uncle's more useful inventions.
Daphne? Raleigh? Anybody?
Okay, now we can use those wind tunnels that are all the rage around these parts. And making big freaking jumps is now easy peasy. Wreck on the deck. I can already tell by looking, the theme's gonna be ghost ship. Just hope there's not any damn wires hanging around. I've always wondered, are Scooby snacks like regular people snacks? Like graham cracker type stuff? Or are they dog food?
Scary! Now in 3 great varieties!
Which begs the question, would getting them wet make gravy? Truly a philosophical question for the ages. Our first platforming challenge in a while, Bouncy Cells. Starts out really easy. Get to the end and press the button. And like any halfway decent platformer, it does get more difficult, with the gaps between each platform getting progressively wider and wider. But as you inevitably plunge to your death trying to catch those devilishly placed treats, you'll start to notice a pretty annoying flaw. While I mentioned before that there really isn't a penalty for dying, that was only partially true. While yes, you don't lose anything you've already picked up, including Scooby snacks, the real punishment is in the respawn system. If you lose all your health one way or another, you'll be plopped right back at the beginning of the stage, with loading screen and all, and select interactable elements reset to their default position. Example, this boat. To get to the other side, you're going to have to press this button. Problem is, if you for whatever reason die before you reach the next level, instant reset, meaning gotta do it again, and again, and again. Now, this bouncy part really isn't that bad, and in truth, this sort of design really only becomes a horrible steaming pile of shit, maybe 2 or 3 times throughout the entire game. But when it does, I hope you like repetition. After making our way past some admittedly awesome sunken ships. And no, the boots we got earlier don't seem to help much. We get a glimpse of the main ship. The game doesn't give this glorious sea vessel a proper name. Yet another missed opportunity to do something funny. The rusty shaft. I don't know, it could have been something. To get over to it, we've got to swing on these life preservers 10 times. On the poop deck, the platforms have a unique twist up here. No, literally. As you get higher and higher up, they'll start to rotate. As little of the actual platforming exists, it can sometimes be quite enjoyable. Conveyor belt.
Ready!
See if you can get me down, Scoob!
I've had a bellyful of your meddling. I think you'll remember this old adversary of yours. He certainly remembers you.
So this is Redbeard, or the ghost of him anyways. You can't touch him. Oh no, that'd be too easy. What we've got to do is cut these ropes, which conveniently hold up a large treasure chest over Mr. Beardy. I say we cut, but it's actually Redbeard himself which cuts him down. How do we get him to do that? Well, first we gotta dodge a wave of ghosts. Then we gotta kill a new enemy, the ghost of Captain Moody. This enemy is never gonna be close enough to the ground to headbutt, so you're gonna have to use the bum drop. Once both these steps are completed, then and only then will you have your chance. Redbeard's not just gonna pick one for you though. What you'll have to do is position Scooby as close as you could possibly get him in front of the rope you want, getting in place the second you kill the last Captain Moody. It is a little touchy at first, as he seems to really only like this one spot and all. The real trouble you're gonna run into is Moody. While on his own, he's not much of a concern. When more than one start ganging up on you, you'll really start to feel the pain. Yes, you can take them both out without taking damage, but what's more likely to happen is you'll kill the first one, and because the second one is still coming after you, and it's more than likely right next to the first one, you're gonna take a hit. I know I mentioned the invincibility frames earlier in the video, but when examining a little closer, it's clear they should have been at least a half second longer. Just look at this. 4 of them swarm me at once. Tell me, how am I supposed to do this correctly? You successfully land a hit? That's too damn bad, you're dead. Oh look, Captain Redbeard's dead. Yippee!
We caught the ghost of Redbeard on that freighter years ago. I wonder what he's doing here.
Jinkies! Watch out, guys! The creeper's chasing me!
There's something on your glasses. The creeper ×2.
I'm sorry, but that is beyond stupid.
Clues like this just don't fall into your lap by accident.
Raggy! Scoob! Food!
We should go find Daphne and Holly and put all our clues together.
Try the secret lab.
A secret lab? Who told you about a secret lab, Scooby?
Ronnie did, before she disappeared with Daphne. What's this? Professor Graham's Tricky Sticky Gum Doohickey. What do you say, Scoob? Want to give it a try?
Gum's an invention now? But let me present you with my new invention, Bottle of Super Moistening, aka the water bottle. Back to the dungeon. Well, that's a new sight. Space Kook, the coolest looking enemy in the game, and by extension, my favorite monster. For one, they shoot laser beams, which nothing else in the game does. Let's try out that Hubba Bubba gum. Okay, so it sticks them to the ground for a minute and we can bounce on their head. Only useful for platforming, but we'll take it. Shaggy is seriously the only one of the gang we actually interacted with during regular gameplay. And you know what? It was the right call. Shaggy is the most lovable member, apart from Scooby. See that? That right there? I didn't for a good hour during my playthrough. I just thought it was a plain window. You know, like all those other plain windows we've walked right past. I 100% take the blame for being an idiot and not paying attention. Just sucks I wasted a bunch of time doing nothing. Through this obvious window, always full of swinging axes. The game's go-to task, collecting keys. At least we get to use our umbrella for a change. Who's Yella in the Cella? Another overtly nice compliment. I really dig the voice acting. While during gameplay, you will hear the same sound clips ad nauseum.
Raleigh! Rahoo! Right? Woohoo!
It's really cool the full gang's all represented, with actors that have played these characters before, not just hiring sound-alikes as so many licensed games do.
SpongeBob, This flapping robot crisis is making the Krusty Krab lose money like a sinking ship.
It shouldn't be a huge compliment, but it is. A ghost-filled creepy laundromat. What is that? Soap bubbles? Is this what that Scooby-branded soap is based on? What does it do? It makes bubbles, you idiot! You've got to connect with one of the enemies, but once you do, you can use them as platformers. Didn't we just get this exact same thing a few minutes ago? No, no, no! Now, they don't have to be stuck to the ground. You see? Little Lab of Horrors. The final stretch of the game. You smell that? That's the smell of success. Not so fast. We still gotta get past. This is the most frustrating part of the game, bar none. It's not crazy complex or anything, and it doesn't need to be to shine a light on every major flaw in the gameplay. Number 1, the floor is electrified. Can't touch it. Number 2, bad camera angles. In a few spots you can't see where you need to jump. Number 3, platforms with beams that get in the freaking way. And let's not forget platforms that change direction way too damn fast. And number 5, if you die, you gotta do the whole section all over again. Not only waiting around on the gurneys to press both buttons again, but you've gotta ride all the way back up to the lab each and every time. You know, if it had one of these things, hell, even 2, it could have been acceptable. Maybe even say, fun. But this is just way too much. Is it doable? Of course it's doable. It's just terrible. It isn't the end of the game, so whatever, I did it. We jump across a giant batch of slurm.
Ew.
The last new monster, the Funland Robot. Not to be confused with the creepypasta of the same name. He's nothing new, so we bust him up. A freaking Event Horizon engine in here. What else could it possibly be? Just like in that movie, we need to turn this thing way off. Up to this point, Scooby Snacks have legitimately not once been a problem, always having more than enough to pass through. Alright, give me a second. Sweet! On our adventure to get more grub, we found the Black Knight armor costume, which does exactly the same thing as the slippers and lampshade. Lame! After saving Shaggy from being shark food.
Good job, Scooby! But why would anybody need this much acid anyway? The acid in those vats is used for etching. It was used to make those funky lenses that were in my glasses. The professor was making super real holograms.
Like, wow! So that's where all the monsters have been coming from.
Jeepers.
Really? Where's no roasts?
That's right, Scooby. No ghosts. Now listen up, gang. I've got a plan. But Scooby's gonna need to keep the mastermind distracted for it to work.
I'm not going anywhere.
Well, would you do it for a Scooby snack? How about a whole box of Scooby snacks?
Okay. Well, I'm ready.
Yes! Soon it will all be mine. My brilliant plan is working perfectly. All that remains is... What? Impossible. How did you, a worthless cur, make it this far?
I don't know.
Well, your luck ends here, as well as all 9 of your lives.
I think that's cats. I'm not a cat.
Shut up.
It's clobbering time. Very familiar. Waves of enemies, then a button press. Alright, things are starting to get hairy. You remember what I said about those enemies at the Redbeard boss fight? Yeah. With a little luck, we can bounce on these fools like it's Donkey Kong. Once again, press the button. Oh, shit! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dude, literally, how do you not take damage? At least there's plenty of health pickups. After round 3, Mastermind thinks he can break him off a piece of my Kit Kat bar. But it ain't gonna be no Reese's Pieces. Bonk. Bonk. What do you want me to do? I kill the enemies and hit the buttons, but they just keep coming back. Okay, this is not working. We can daze them. Oh my god. So this is not obvious at all. The other boss fights were painfully simple to figure out. We kill the monsters, hit the switches, and then what? The best part has to be Tim Curry taunting us. I can see you. Oh, whoa. We moved him. I get it now. It only took me 15 minutes and 2 tries, but I got it. We go through the cycle, and when the electric comes back on, we gotta shove Mastermind in it like a fork in a toaster. You ready, playa? Boom! Take it. Yeah!
Look, gang, there he is!
Whoa!
Now it's time to get to the bottom of this mystery. Come on, gang, let's see who the Mastermind really is.
Wait, Fred. Like I think I know who this guy really is. It's that spooky groundskeeper, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Blame the spooky groundskeeper. It's always the spooky groundskeeper. What do you people have against groundskeepers? Some detectives. Why don't you just say the butler did it? But no, it's always got to be the groundskeeper, don't it? Anytime some ghost scares somebody off a well-kept lawn, it's just got to be the groundskeeper. Like we couldn't just put up a sign that says, keep off the grass.
As I was saying, let's see who the Mastermind really is.
It's Professor Alexander Graham!
Oh, me? Oh, my.
Uncle Alexander? I don't believe it.
I knew it all the time.
Something just doesn't add up. If you ask me, someone's playing a nasty trick. A trick of the light.
I knew it was Holly, that bitch.
Who's that Pokemon?
It's just me, Holly. Holly, what are you doing there?
Zoinks! But Holly's right.
Wrong, Shaggy. That Holly was just another hologram. The real Holly has been the Mastermind the entire time.
Remember how Holly said she followed all of our cases? Only she'd know enough about our old foes to program holograms of them.
And I noticed how she passed through that rail near the secret lab.
By setting up a hologram of herself when the Mastermind was around, she'd have the perfect alibi.
But what I don't get is how she got the professor here. In a Mastermind costume, no less.
Well, that's simple. She used my patent-pending dressed for supper, suck you upper.
The suck you upper?
I built a device that could get me dressed and to the front door in seconds. That way I can
be on time to pay the pizza delivery man.
Exactly. Groovy.
Holly must have used it to get here ahead of us and switch places with her uncle.
who she'd already stuffed up there.
Like, and don't forget the most important clue of all, hologram. Get it? Hologram. Hi, kill me.
But why, Holly? Why go through all of this? You guys would have caught my uncle, and when he was sent to jail, I'd steal his super hologram invention and claim I came up with it myself. I would have made a fortune, too.
Why rat on yourself? Makes no sense.
Yeah, and I would have gotten away with it, too, if not for you meddling kids and your pesky dog.
Huh?
Here, Professor, let me help you.
Oh, thank you, kids. I don't know how to repay you.
Well, all these victuals are a great start. Hey! Scooby-Dooby-Doo!
Yeah, the whole hologram thing makes about as much sense as a talking dog. I mean, how did we kill those enemies? How'd they kill us? Wouldn't it have been obvious the moment we tried to touch the... Well, it's better not to think about the details. Just like in those old classic Saturday morning cartoons. It's not the realism of the stories that make them good. It's more of a turn your brain off and watch these wacky over-the-top characters and their bizarre adventures format. With that said, would I have chosen the hologram route? No. But then again, it would probably be difficult to come up with a way to bring all these past monsters together with any sort of logical sense. And that, my friends, was Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights. Did we see 100 monsters? Not 100 unique ones, but who cares? We got 21 including the bosses, and also bats, rats, crabs, and flying fish. I don't even think that's what the 100 Frights means in the title anyway. It is, in my opinion, a platforming game worth your time. Hell, it's only about a 5-hour experience in the first place. Given the stellar voice cast, and the loving tribute to the classic era of the franchise, you'd be really missing out if you were a Scooby fan, which I very much am. While I don't watch the new stuff, and Velma doesn't seem to be winning me over, I grew up watching the gang and their slapstick mystery-solving pup. From haunted mansions, to alien romances, to literally going back in time, Scooby's done it all. And hey, if you don't want to watch that crap, then don't. Just like there's 35 branded video games, and I've only played 2 of them. I play what looks cool to me, and what I can say about this game is, it's simple, yet fun. Flawed, yet fantastic. With all the legitimate issues I have with the game, I'd play it again. Sometime. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe. It shows me that people want to see more high-effort videos like this. And if you played this game before, or have an opinion, let me know in the comments below. Until next time, I'm Pap Napples.